There is one place on Earth where you are not allowed to go alone. You cannot explore it freely. You cannot live stream from it. You cannot fly over certain parts of it. Every major government in the world, even bitter enemies, agreed to lock it away behind a treaty that has no expiration date. That place is Antarctica. 14 million square kilometers of ice, larger than Europe, and you are forbidden from setting foot there without permission. The official reason is environmental protection. But when every world power agrees on something this quickly and this permanently, some people start asking questions. This is the story of what they might be hiding at the bottom of the world. In 1959, at the height of the Cold War, 12 nations, including the United States and Soviet Union, signed the Antarctic Treaty. Think about that. These countries were pointing nuclear weapons at each other, yet they paused to agree on one thing. No one gets Antarctica. The treaty bans military activity, mineral mining, and nuclear testing. It designates the entire continent for peaceful purposes and scientific research only. Today, 56 nations have signed it. No territorial claims are recognized. No one owns it. No one can. And every few decades, when the treaty comes up for review, every nation agrees to keep it exactly as it is. The question is, what makes Antarctica so special that the entire world agrees to leave it alone? Commercial flights do not cross Antarctica. This is often attributed to safety concerns and lack of emergency landing sites. But private pilots who have attempted Antarctic routes report being warned off or denied flight plans. In 2013, a pilot attempting to fly over the South Pole was allegedly redirected by military communications. Certain regions, particularly the area around 72 degrees south latitude, appear to be restricted airspace that doesn't officially exist. Satellite imagery of these regions is either blurred, outdated, or conspicuously absent from public mapping services. Google Earth shows Antarctica in far less detail than any other continent. Why would you need to hide ice? In 1946, the United States Navy launched Operation Highjump, the largest Antarctic expedition in history. Admiral Richard Byrd led 4,700 men, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft to the bottom of the world. The official mission: map the coastline and establish a research base. But the expedition was cut short. What was planned as an 8-month mission ended after just 8 weeks. Admiral Byrd later gave an interview to a Chilean newspaper in which he reportedly warned that in the event of a new war, the United States would be attacked by aircraft that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speed. This statement has never been fully explained. The Navy classified many of the expedition's findings. Decades later, much of it remains classified. In the age of smartphones, you can live stream from the top of Everest, from the middle of the Sahara, even from the International Space Station. But you cannot freely live stream from Antarctica. Research stations have internet, but bandwidth is tightly controlled and monitored. Independent visitors, the few who are permitted, face strict communication restrictions. Content creators who have attempted to document their Antarctic visits report equipment failures, confiscated footage, and mandatory approval processes for any media they produce. In 2020, several YouTubers planned an Antarctic expedition and reported being denied permits without explanation. The official reason is always environmental protection, but you can film freely in every other protected wilderness on Earth. Antarctica was not always frozen. Fossil records prove it was once a temperate continent with forests, rivers, and animal life. Ancient maps, including the famous Piri Reis map of 1513, appear to show Antarctica's coastline without ice, centuries before the continent was officially discovered in 1820. How did a 16th century cartographer map a land mass buried under miles of ice? Modern ice-penetrating radar has revealed something startling beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. Massive freshwater lakes, mountain ranges larger than the Alps, and anomalous structures that scientists struggle to explain. Lake Vostok, buried under 2 miles of ice, has been sealed from the surface for 15 million years. What's in it remains largely unknown. The Piri Reis map, drawn in 1513 by Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis, has baffled historians for decades. It accurately depicts the western coast of Africa, the eastern coast of South America, and what appears to be the northern coast of Antarctica. The problem? Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820, over 300 years later. And the coastline shown on the map matches the land beneath the ice, not the current ice-covered coast. This means whoever created the source maps that Piri Reis copied had seen Antarctica without ice. The last time Antarctica was ice-free was over 6,000 years ago. This suggests the existence of an advanced civilization mapping the world thousands of years before recorded history. Want to visit Antarctica? You'll need to go through an approved tour operator. You cannot go independently. You cannot choose where you land. You are restricted to designated visitor sites, most of which are small patches of rocky coast. The interior of the continent is completely off-limits to civilians. You cannot bring drones. You cannot collect samples. You are monitored at all times. Compare this to any other continent on Earth. You can walk across the Sahara alone. You can explore the Amazon by yourself. You can trek through Siberia. But you cannot freely explore a continent made entirely of ice and rock. The restrictions are unprecedented, and the justification, protecting penguins and moss, strikes many as disproportionate. While ordinary people are locked out, an extraordinary list of powerful figures have visited Antarctica. In 2016, Secretary of State John Kerry flew to Antarctica on Election Day. The same year, Buzz Aldrin visited and was medically evacuated, later tweeting a cryptic message about seeing something evil there. Russian Patriarch Kirill of the Orthodox Church visited in 2016 as well, reportedly to view an ancient relic. King Juan Carlos of Spain, Prince Harry of the United Kingdom, multiple heads of state. Why are world leaders, religious figures, and astronauts making trips to a frozen wasteland? Environmental interest doesn't explain visits of this caliber. Something is drawing the world's most powerful people to the bottom of the Earth. Satellite thermal imaging has detected unexplained heat signatures beneath the Antarctic ice. In 2018, NASA scientists confirmed a massive geothermal heat source under West Antarctica responsible for significant ice melt from below. But some thermal anomalies don't match known volcanic activity. Certain regions show consistent, localized heat patterns that have no geological explanation. In the Wilkes Land region, a massive gravitational anomaly suggests something enormous is buried beneath the ice, possibly an impact crater or something else entirely. The anomaly is 300 miles wide. Whatever it is, it's been there for a very long time, and no government has funded a public investigation into what exactly it is. Some researchers propose that Antarctica was once home to an advanced civilization, potentially the origin of the Atlantis myth. The theory suggests that a catastrophic pole shift around 12,000 years ago displaced the continent from a more temperate latitude to its current polar position, flash freezing everything on it. Proponents point to the Piri Reis map, anomalous structures detected by radar, perfectly geometric formations visible in satellite imagery, and the suspicious level of international secrecy surrounding the continent. Critics dismiss these claims, but they cannot explain the ancient maps, the thermal anomalies, or why every government on Earth treats Antarctica like the world's most heavily guarded secret. Perhaps the most controversial theory involves the Antarctic ice wall. Some claim that what we call Antarctica is not a continent at all, but an ice barrier surrounding the known world. While mainstream science firmly rejects this, proponents point to the Antarctic Treaty's travel restrictions as evidence. Why would governments ban independent exploration of a simple ice continent? The theory gained traction when independent researchers noted that long-range footage of the Antarctic coast shows an unbroken ice wall stretching as far as the eye can see, with no visible way to determine what lies beyond. Whether you find this credible or not, the fact remains that we know more about the surface of Mars than we know about the interior of Antarctica. We live in an era of radical transparency. Satellites photograph every square meter of Earth, drones can fly anywhere, information travels instantly. Yet Antarctica remains deliberately obscured. Restricted access, controlled communications, blurred satellite images, a treaty signed by enemies, VIP pilgrimages by world leaders, ancient maps that shouldn't exist, structures detected beneath miles of ice, heat signatures with no explanation. We may never know what Antarctica truly holds, but the lengths to which the world's governments go to keep it hidden suggest that whatever is down there is significant enough to make every nation on Earth agree on one thing: you're not allowed to see it. Some questions are more dangerous than their answers, and Antarctica might be the biggest question of all.